By the way, Z-Man's addicted to drugs and he owns firearms. The real story behind this account, however, it was listed on a website called OG Users, and I purchased it for $650. Fuck yo, man. Z-Man claims that I had a close relationship with Intel Broker. Z-Man claims I had Intel Broker threaten people on my behalf. We've been drip feeding Z-Man a bunch of fake information.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Z-Man 1064 here. After my call out video on Duper Trooper, things did not particularly go his way. Many things have occurred and new information has been uncovered enough that I think it warrants a follow-up video, which will also give me the opportunity to go over his 2 response videos. Yes, Duper Trooper made 2 response videos to my video on him. But his first response was so badly received, he had to unlist the video and disable comments. Youch. What I've decided to do is cover his first response video and then cover his public response. They're both getting covered in this video. Then after that, I will show you all the new information that was recovered. I'd like to thank eTurbo for showing me that you can in fact check messages from deleted Discord accounts, meaning I was able to recover our DMs, me and Duper Trooper's DMs, up until the time Intel Broker threatened eTurbo at Duper's request. Also, just like the last video, I will be showcasing my mistakes as well, because bottom line is I was a willing participant in Duper's reckless behavior and I deserve to be held accountable. I'm trying to do what I think is right, and I think the only appropriate action I can take to this whole thing, me platforming this guy, all that, is to expose Duper Trooper, to expose his facade. Duper Trooper is an act, an artificial projection made by a scared man. He lied to me for years. I know he's done it to others, so I want to warn as many people as possible so I can spare them the headache that I've had to deal with this Nepo baby. So let's start with his first response video.
Nah, this is so fucking funny. There's no way he fell for all of that, bro. I'm so troll. I was gonna have a webcam up, but my webcam's broken. But dude, I want to make this video right now and drop this because it's so troll, bro. We planted everything.
All right, so within the first, not even 30 seconds of Duper Trooper's first response video, and I want you guys to keep in mind that this was Duper Trooper's first response video, he made this video and thought, yes, this will be my saving grace. Checkmate, Z-Man, you lose, I win. This video will save my ass. Not even within the first minute, which is like, I asked my roommate to pinch me when Duper uploaded this, because I'm like, there's no way. This guy admits to lying and manipulating. He admits to planting information, which is poisoning the well, which is a logical fallacy. It is a manipulation tactic. So what Duper is doing is he's trying to cover his ass. The interview I did with the Popular MMO's account owner, and I'll say the name now, I'm not gonna blur it out and protect that guy because he's also a liar. Popular MMO's account owner Me and him discussed many topics about Duper Trooper, many of his actions, and Duper Trooper is trying to claim that all of that stuff is fake because he is saying that they planted information, which they did. They falsified the story of when Duper Trooper had the popular MMO's Minecraft account. Hey, Editor Z-Man here. We're right here in the video. I just wanted to interject and also say that Duper is trying to do a double fake out. That is what it's called, a double fake out. He is having me talk about real things he did with the popular MMO's Minecraft account owner, and then turning around and claiming that all of the things we discussed was fake, which is not the case. They did this on purpose because they were falsifying the backstory of how Duper Trooper obtained access to that account, and he's trying to cover his ass. So in the first, not even 30 seconds of this video, he immediately proved that he is a liar and a master manipulator. The two major accusations I made in my first video. The title of the video is called The Lies of Duper Trooper. The thumbnail has the word pathological liar in it. Duper's Einstein idea to get out of this debacle of being accused of being a manipulator and a liar is to manipulate and lie. Let us continue with this first response.
By the way, Z-Man's addicted to drugs and he owns firearms, so I've been fucking terrified.
This one is just kind of funny. I don't own any firearms. I would like to, though. Eventually, I will buy a firearm, but right now, I don't have one. I am unarmed, so not true. And also, in regards to allegations of being a drug addict. I know sometimes it seems that way, because in my videos, I always seem geeked, but not true. I'm not an addict. So this was just kind of like an attempt to make me out to be crazy. Also, as for the crash outs,
I should fucking shoot this guy through his fucking eyeballs and have his fucking brain splatter on the pavement.
and of course, who could forget about the classic?
I'll fucking blow his house up!
I was pissed. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no excuse. I was just pissed. I gotta be better at maintaining my discipline and maintaining calmness. So that's something I've been working on for a while. I actually used to be worse, believe it or not. I'll admit that right now. I used to get angrier way easier back in the day. I used to have major gamer rage. I used to donkey kick the door, the bedroom door. There'd be holes in it. I don't do that anymore. I've improved. So that's all I can say in regards to that. I shouldn't make terroristic threats. That's kind of what they sound like. I'm like, I'll blow his house up. That one is funny though. I've quoted it and I've allowed people to quote. You guys can say that. You can make fun of me and say, oh, I'll blow his house up. That whole call, by the way, like, first of all, they recorded me without my permission, though I don't really care about that. It is something noteworthy though, because he was recording DirectCube, Duper's little cup. He was recording before anything had even been said. So that immediately revealed to me that anytime I was in a call with this guy, which was a couple times because he was kind of like the mediator during the Cold War before I decided to make the first video, he was probably recording every single conversation. So just a complete slime ball individual for the most part. I shouldn't get that upset. But at the same time, you know, this Nepo baby Duper Trooper was pushing my buttons for months on end, you know, so I came to a boiling point. Obviously, I'm not going to blow his house up. I'm not going to blow his brains out with what. Also, don't have all of his family's phone numbers. That was just a bluff. I just kind of said that. Like, maybe I have his, that's it. But this is what Duper Trooper does. He'll push you to your breaking point and then shame you for breaking. Another manipulation tactic. And, you know, this whole thing is his main narrative, which is the narrative he was trying to build behind the scenes before this all went public. He's just trying to make me out to be this crazy person.
But he's sound mind and body, guys. He's totally sound mind and body.
So that nobody takes me seriously when I talk about these things, because I was a first-hand witness to a multitude of things that Duper Trooper doesn't want to be public. And I made most of that stuff that I was able to prove, at least, public, including the popular MMO account, some other things as well. But let's continue.
We've been drip feeding Z-Man a bunch of fake information.
This is when I truly realized that Duper Trooper was the Minecraft Drake. This guy, literally, like, I don't understand how he thought this would work. you're gonna plant information, that's just lying and manipulating. That's the two big claims I made in my video. Honestly, it's like at this point, I'm starting to think that maybe Duper Trooper has cowboyitis or something.
People do that shit, they want to get caught.
Oh, I want to get caught.
Yeah, you want to get caught. I've seen it before. That's fucking cowboyitis.
I did not know it was possible to be this fucking dumb.
Yo, I don't give a damn what anybody says. Duper is goons. That is a high cortisol laugh right there. That is the most forced laugh I've ever heard. This guy is he is undoubtedly very nervous. I mean, the guy lost probably 7,000 subscribers at that point in time. It had gone up even more after he uploaded these videos, of course. But yeah, he was definitely tweaking. Obviously, it's because, you know, he's narcissistic. He's built this public persona, this facade, and now I just, like, completely ripped it down in the span of, like, under 30 minutes in the first video. And, you know, he's now trying to desperately get back what he has lost, but it is undeniable that he will never get back the public's trust after all of this.
I genuinely do not think, like, if you put, like, a baby in a room with, like, a monkey and a toy cube and just let it live there the rest of its life, it would probably be smarter than fucking Z-Man. Like, I can't even LARP here, bro. Like, hey, bro, maybe get your racks up instead of spending it all on a fuck yo, man.
So this is what I was talking about, how, you know, this guy, he doesn't take anything seriously. And this was how he was behind the scenes, like when I was trying to keep things cool. So, you know, he doesn't take anything seriously, obviously. He said what I drive, right? And I wasn't going to include this, but I feel that it's justified here. So he says what I drive, the type of car I drive, right? And he's the one that got in contact with my ex-girlfriend and got information from her, which I'll get into that in a minute. I'll get to that whole thing in a minute. But they decided to attempt to drive by my house. They did so. They posted a video of them driving by a house, and they read off a license plate number of a random person's vehicle just because it happened to be the same type of vehicle that Duper said I drive. So these are the consequences of Duper's actions. Some random person's license plate number gets read off. I'll play the video right now. It'll be blurred, obviously.
Z-Man? That place looks familiar to me. I don't know about you, Z-Man. You know, Z-Man 1064. That place looks really interesting. You know, I'm just saying, I think it's a little strange, but, you know, I don't know, I think that house looks pretty cool. But, let's see. Oh, wait, manual, by the way. Something your fucking shitty ass could never. Oh, let's look. Oh, speaking of... Oh, that's so interesting. That's a nice right there. Interesting numbers, guys.
And the person who uploaded the video is my ex-girlfriend's current boyfriend. So this girl is still not over the whole thing. I talked about it in the last video. I'll talk about it more in a second because there's some things that were uncovered actually in Duper's deleted Discord account DMs that pertains to her. But just for the sake of the random person that got their license plate read off maliciously and got it posted online, the poster of that video, not the cuck, the boyfriend, his license plate is OWA2ZV. So there you go. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and I just want to let everybody know that
when they go low, I go lower.
Alright, so now that we're done covering that awful first video that Duper uploaded, we will now go over his current public response that he has on his main channel. We will start with lie number 1.
The only proof that Z-Man provided for any of his claims in this entire video was a text message log between myself and Z-Man, where I crashed out on him December 21st for posting a day after me.
So this is pretty laughable because I can disprove this lie by simply going to the first 15 seconds of the first video. I show deleted messages, and his message was pretty much how he doesn't care about the criticism that he receives from his hypocritical adverts. For those of you who don't know, he took an AI pay-to-use cheat It's a cheat client, uses AI, and you have to pay to use it. It's pay to win. And we're supposed to be anti-pay to win creators, yet he was promoting pay to win cheats. I know he was getting a couple bans for these adverts. So the guy was selling out and he was being a complete hypocrite. And I show this fact within the first 15 seconds of my first video, but Duper decides to claim in the first half of his video that I had no evidence, which is just a bold-faced lie, and I think further proves the fact that he's just like totally dodging most of the things that I was accusing him of and most of the things that I was saying, because I got this guy clocked. Let's continue.
I think it is extremely important to note that in the past, Z-Man would get upset with me if I posted a video after him in a short period of time, and would actually incite drama over it on numerous occasions over the years.
So this is another lie. I found this one a little strange. He says that I was forcing him to upload at certain times and that I would incite drama over it. I don't recall ever inciting any drama whatsoever in regards to him uploading after me. We did believe in this thing called snubbing. Both me and Duper Trooper believed in snubbing, but I stopped believing in it. I had talked to some people that are more knowledgeable in YouTube algorithm. They said snubbing isn't real, right? Secondly, I didn't mean to upload the day after him. It was an accident. I actually probably wouldn't have even done that if I had known he uploaded, but I didn't check because I was rushing because we were leaving for Christmas vacation. I wanted to upload before I left. So I just made the video. As soon as it was done, I posted it, and then immediately Duper crashed out. It was an accident, but he turned it into this entire thing that eventually spiraled into us making public videos about it. So I just wanted to clear the air on that. I found that to be a very bizarre lie. When did I incite drama? And you know what's funny is he tries to claim I don't have evidence, but he says this but didn't provide any examples. Like, please show me when I started drama over you uploading after me. I'd like to genuinely see that. I'm not sure what he's talking about in that regard. Let's continue.
He tells me no and says that I should delay it, which I do. However, a day after I ended up posting my video, Z-Man decided to post a video of his own, which I got upset about because I felt like it was extremely disrespectful.
Girl, my friend uploaded a day after me on a public website, so I gotta have a full-blown breakdown. Like, it doesn't make sense, you know? And it's funny because, like, yeah, he asked me, oh, hey, when is it cool to post? And like, yeah, I gave him a day. I said Sunday. I just said Sunday twice. It's funny because he even shows these messages. I say Sunday. Like, I never gave him a demand. He's the one asking me. I don't give a shit. If he posted on Saturday, I wouldn't have done anything because I was already not home. I don't think. Like, I was gone by that point, I'm pretty sure. Can't fully remember right now, to be honest, but either way, I would not have cared if he had posted on Saturday. He said, oh, when should I post? I just said Sunday. I was feeling Sunday for him. I don't know. It was just a vibe. It wasn't anything dictatorial, so he's just taking my words and trying to twist them against me, and that is a big part of his tactics in regards to this situation. I've noticed is he just tries to use my words against me, and he just tries to dodge any accountability whatsoever. So, you know, it's kind of exhausting to deal with him, but I've got pretty thick skin, and I know some of you all will laugh because of the crash out clips earlier, but like, I actually do. For doing this for so long, you know, you deal with people like this. I mean, I dealt with, like, honestly way worse back in the days, you know, back when this channel was way smaller. So it's no big deal, but still, it's just like, you're dumb, bro. You could have posted any day. I don't care, bro. Let's continue.
I also want to mention that yes, I did accept a sponsorship from an aimbot company. These videos are still public and still visible on my channel, and since the postings of those videos, I have not taken any more sponsors of the sort. As believe me, a lot of people came to me to comment their opinions, and I like to listen to the community when I can.
I like to listen to the community when I can. There's so much to unpack with this. First of all, when I can. Notice how he doesn't say, I like to listen to the community. He says, I like to listen to the community when I can. Like it's some choice for him. Like it's some option and not the default. So there's that first thing I noticed with that. And secondly, that isn't what you said when I talked to you about it. When you were behind closed doors, talking about this controversy, you didn't care at all about what the commenters were saying. Your whole MO was to ignore it until it goes away, which is exactly Duper's main tactic when he is losing the public's favor like this. He'll tend to go dormant for a while and then come back when things have blown over, so to speak. So he's a coward, you know, he won't take the criticism head on, he won't take accountability head on. When push comes to shove, this guy just waits it out. He'll go off grid, no uploads for months to subvert the criticism from the audience. So for lies 5 and 6, you know, it's kind of funny. While I was watching Duper's video, I sort of noticed a pattern of him kind of repeating himself, but with different words. Pretty much like the whole time he's trying to say he's making claims, he doesn't have evidence, he's making things up. Like, that's his major defense. So lie 5 and 6, we're gonna put them in our back pocket because they've aged really bad, especially with these deleted account messages I was able to recover. Duper is a complete fake and phony, and you guys will see in a minute.
For quite a while now, I've been planning a video called Operation Duper's Day, and this video was meant to be a full edited movie set around the soundtrack Operation Doomsday, which I paid around $1,000 to license in full. Z-Man knew I was making this video and knew that I already had commissioned art for the thumbnail, and after our falling out, he purposefully copied my idea with a different MF Doom album to prevent me from making my own video as it would look like I copied him.
Alright, so when I saw this, I almost thought it was rage bait, because there's multiple things to unpack here. First of all, look, this whole premise Duper's describing, this album-themed video idea, I invented it. I've used MF Doom before. I've actually been using instrumentals from him, that guy's music, for over 5 years. I think I've been using his music actually for like 7 years. I think like since 2019 or earlier, right? I made a video with Mad Villainy already. Duper, you can still make Operation Duper's Day, even though like I don't like you at all. I'd still like to see your take on that style that I created. Duper is trying to say that I'm copying him here, which is why I think this whole bit right here is like rage bait or something, because it's just the most laughable statement. Because fact of the matter is, bottom line, I'm the one that came up with that premise. He hasn't made Operation Duper's Day. He's been talking about that video for well over 2 years. Still hasn't done it. You can still do it. The licenses are still there. You still have all the licenses. That's why it doesn't make sense. I don't think that the cover story for the $1,000 loss is real, because this is just, it doesn't make any sense. Why would that video, why would my Dupes video dictate whether or not you upload Operation Duper's Day? Like, I feel like at this point, Duper's clearly just grasping at anything that he can say to try to attack my character, which is kind of an ad hominem, because, you know, his whole video, he's just trying to attack me instead of going over the main points and criticisms that I gave him. And he's been very, you know, combative, kind of disrespectful, while, you know, my first video, I was keeping it decently civil. I don't want to say like fully civil, but decently civil. So, you know, it's just kind of interesting. And yeah, he copied me. So that's what I wanted to say here. He copied me. It's the other way around. He's full of it.
Z-Man doxed me. Z-Man leaked my full government name and the city that I live in publicly.
Yeah, so this is incorrect. First of all, first screenshot he shows, not 100% sure if that's real, but if it is real, that was sent to a trusted individual that already knew Duper's name, most likely. So that's what I'm going to say for that first one. Not 100% sure if it's even real, because Duper was faking screenshots before. He took an image where I just said his first name and like blurred more out where it made it look like it said full name. I did say his first name, I'll give him that. I did say his first name. I thought that was public information, but I did say his first name. The pill bottle thing, that was an accident. I was just like trolling. This was like an old picture Duper sent me of his dinner, and it was like a pastry and a chocolate milk, because this guy like doesn't eat anything, you know? So that was like his dinner, and I posted it and I said like boy dinner, and it was in a private Discord server. It was in the anti-paid-win council. So it was not in a public Discord server. He just like completely took all of that out of context and is trying to make me out to be a doxer. And of course, that's just so he can justify doxing me and doing all of these other malicious activities, which I'm not going to get too much into because, you know, when they do malicious activities like this, they want the attention so that they will engage in it more to get more reactions. That's not what I'm going to give them. I'm going to move to the next point.
And I did not want to potentially poke the hornet's nest of someone who I believe is mentally unwell.
Yeah, so this is just kind of confirming what I was saying earlier. Duper's kind of whole MO here and defense is to just try to paint me as like a mentally ill person. Not mentally ill, very passionate about YouTube. Some people may even call it a little obsessed, but I don't think it's unhealthy. So yeah, just a pretty lazy lie. His whole argument of practices, everything he does is all so lazy.
Docspin has sold and changed hands numerous times. At certain points in the website's history, I was associated with the owners. I think an extremely important distinction to make right now is that the extent of my relationship with these individuals only goes as far as interviewing them on YouTube videos while playing Minecraft. I had no involvement in the site and simply have a passion for cybersecurity, which makes interviewing these people on videos fun for me.
Yeah, so bottom line is eTurbo had to pay for his information to be removed from Docspin, and Duper set up that DM. So therefore, he helped them extort eTurbo instead of trying to sway them into taking the stuff off the website for free, which they should have done. Mind you, I was friends with this guy for like 2 years, and not once did he go into depth about cybersecurity or about how it was like a passion of his. The more likely reason that he was doing collabs with these types of people is so that, you know, he's seen as a force to be reckoned with, so to speak. It's just, you know, and what I have also from deleted account kind of melts this whole narrative down a little bit.
As for the allegation of extorting eTurbo, this is a blatant lie backed by zero evidence.
All right, so we pretty much got through the basics of Duper's responses. He just kind of repeats himself for the last few lies. I'm going to play all the lies now that we are going to hilariously debunk.
Everything else that follows was fabricated by Z-Man in an attempt to tarnish my character and destroy my reputation. Throughout this video, you will see a pattern of Z-Man making claims with zero proof and treat them as factual evidence, which we can dive into more later. As for the allegation of extorting eTurbo, this is a blatant lie backed by zero evidence. He has provided zero evidence for these lies made against my character.
All right, so we have 2 lies left to cover, so now we must turn our attention to the deleted account messages. This is Duper Trooper's old account, the one I met him on, and the following messages have never been seen before. So I'd like to start off with Duper's connection to account hackers, and to do so I have to address ZWoman2175 once again. More so, how she and Duper have united to try to frame life-ruining allegations on my name, fabricated by my ex. Duper also informed them of what I drive, which led to the attempted filming and doxing of my residence and license plate number. Literally Sniper Wolf level of delusional and malicious intent being cherry on top. But what is more crazy about this is the fact that Duper knew she was a liar and offered me an opportunity to falsely terminate her account back when we were still friends. He said he knew the guy for years. Now this looks bad on me also because I agreed to have it done. Thankfully, nothing actually occurred with her account. But I believe this shows Duper's two-faced nature. He chose to spread lies that he knew were lies. He collaborated with someone whom he was against and used them as a pawn. He spread these false claims to his goons, which then spread to slop channels, doxing discords, etc. He willingly put me at risk because I stopped obeying his inflated ego and insecure personality. I'd like to end that branch with my video and my actions with making this public and all of this. It's been in self-defense and for the greater good of the anti-pay-to-win movement. I think people have the right to know about what goes on with the leaders of this community, and Duper Trooper definitely sees himself as the leader. He wants to be the leader of the movement. Now let's talk about Furious Destroyer. So in Duper's wisdom, he decided to admit to buying popular MMO's stolen Minecraft account, Furious Destroyer. He admitted to selling it to a individual that goes by Flawless, I'm pretty sure. He claims he bought it for like 600 bucks. He gave a receipt, crypto receipt. The thing about these crypto receipts though, Duper buys and sells accounts all the time. Like, we were using $1,000 worth Minecraft accounts in my most viewed video. So this guy buys and sells accounts all the time. I think he paid more than what he's saying. He claims the receipt is for popular MMO's account, but it could be for a different account purchase. So I just wanted to point that out. I think it's more than what he's claiming. Furthermore, Duper's friend lied about getting Pat's permission to use the account. Let's say hypothetically in the future, right? Let's say someday, right? I knew Pat, popular MMOs, right? If I could connect you guys, would you give him his account back? Question mark.
To answer your question, I've actually contacted him before about giving it back. But I probably have the receipt somewhere. I need to find it on the USB drive because I kept that. I know I did. And he just told me straight up, like, you could just use it as long as you're not bringing bad rep to my name.
So he actually gave you his blessing.
Yeah. He's just like, don't do fuck shit on it, basically, and that's it.
The current owner of the account, which is Duper's friend, the man who Duper sold the account to instead of returning the account to popular MMOs, he uses the account on servers and pretends to be popular MMOs. He pretends to be Pat. Here are some archived messages that have been pulled from 2B2T. The guy sells signed books for money on the account. He posts slanderous messages on Pat's account. One's about beating his wife and things of that nature. Duper is the reason the account is being used this way, because he decided to sell it because he was getting heat for having a stolen legacy Minecraft YouTuber's account. Legacy, something Duper will never have. And by the way, the only reason Duper says, and the only reason in general that he was even thinking about returning the account to popular MMOs is because I said that he should when he first flexed the account. The only reason he said that, the only reason that became a part of his little scheme video he tried to make is because I told him he should. So this guy is just something else, man.
Z-Man claims that I had a close relationship with Intel Broker. Z-Man claims I had Intel Broker threaten people on my behalf.
Yeah, so Duper has just like completely denied any involvement with the eTurbo threatening by Intel Broker. So I got the screenshots. I've got some of them on the screen right now. One thing I gotta say though is he must think the audience is stupid, because most people saw through this lie as well. Because why would Intel Broker, right? This guy hacked PandaBuy, this guy hacked Apple, you know, he's a big time hacker. Why would he waste his time on a 100,000 subscriber Minecraft anti-pay to win YouTuber? Why would he waste his time on eTurbo? Duper Trooper did a video with the guy. Duper Trooper knew the guy. Duper Trooper has beef with eTurbo, and I'm telling you all right now that he threatened eTurbo. He had Intel Broker do it. He wanted to scare eTurbo off than that. And I have the messages from the day this happened. Me and Duper Trooper were on call while it was happening. You can see us messaging each other. It's very funny to us. It was funny to me, I guess, back then. I'm ashamed to have even been involved with this. And I actually believe that this incident is the reason Duper's account was limited. Because as you can see in this other screenshot, Duper's account got limited after this. You can see on the dates as well. So I actually think it's because Duper was friends, had added Intel Broker, and they were already tracking his ass down. I think it's funny that he's denying it because, once again, why would Intel Broker even know who eTurbo is? Like, Intel Broker would have never known who eTurbo is unless Duper Trooper told him, which is exactly what happened. And Duper Trooper orchestrated the entire thing and then tried to cover it up. Unfortunately, he could not do so. All right, so we've covered a lot. I'm going to slow it down a little bit with something else Duper Trooper has been doing. Duper's United, right? It gives me a Syndrome vibe. That's what I want to say. It gives me a Syndrome vibe.
I'll sell my invention so that everyone can be superheroes. Everyone can be super. And when everyone's super, no one will be.
Duper Trooper's got like this hero syndrome where he wants to be the head of duping and exploit.com, and the way he's trying to do that is through Duper's United. He's got these goons. They make mods code for him that help dupers and exploiters, right? And he's just giving it out en masse. He wants to sell it as well. There's people in his camp that want to sell it. It's a business for them. And the whole thing is, you know, it just gives me a sour taste in my mouth. And it's kind of dystopian in my head because these guys could then blackball anybody they want out of exploit.com. If everyone's using the same odds, they could turn some odds off. Very clearly, he's trying to get power through Dupers United. To me, it's kind of irresponsible.
I'll tell you the problem with the scientific power that you're using here. It didn't require any discipline to attain it. You know, you read what others had done, and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it. You stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could, and before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
I don't think you're giving us our due credit. Our scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
One of the major reasons why I'm doing this is because Duper's just made it very clear to me, at least, he is abusing his platform, his privilege as a creator to do nefarious things, bad deeds, do things for his own twisted games and things. You know, he's very irresponsible with his platform.
You wield it like a kid that's found his dad's gun.
Another big noteworthy thing I noticed in Duper's video was Dr. Donut shooting down my claim of Duper threatening him.
You see Z-Man's video on exposing Duper Trooper? All I had was a DM from Pedro asking if Duper Trooper threatened to take down my channel through a rat or something. That's just a complete made-up lie.
Now look, Dr. Donut said Duper didn't threaten him. It's very, very, very possible that Duper just lied about that. However, again, I'm just gonna say this: Dr. Donut is, I would be more than happy if he responded to this, because this is just my observation from this, right? Doesn't really add up to me, because notice after the situation, after I brought up the fact that Dr. Donut got threatened, and that's why Pay to Win wasn't on his server. Did you guys notice that Pay to Win came back to Donut SMP? And notice how Dr. Donut never stated why Pay to Win was removed in the first place, if he was just going to re-add it. So that's just a little anomaly in that whole situation that I just wanted to point out. I think it's strange, but again, if Dr. Donut says you didn't threaten him, then maybe he didn't. However, at the same time, I find it suspicious, especially with the past that we all have with Dr. Donut, because it goes a little deeper than just YouTube.
Dr. Donut came down the stairs, saw me, their whole crew, it was 4 motherfuckers, they were all side-eyeing me, and then they walk up, go into the house. I tell Josh, I'm like, yo, we got fucking dip, bro, because we broke into their fucking house party through the side gate, and dog, holy shit, we took their fucking Smirnoff, wait, show it on the... We jugged their bed. Yo, thank you for the bed, bro, thank you for the bed, thank you, bro. Dude, we snuck into their house party and stole their alcohol, bro. Like, this is... Donut down, nigga. Donut down.
Yeah, I don't think Duper really realized how much shit I actually have in the vault. Yeah, also, by the way, that's his white homie cameraman just saying the N-word. Notice how he doesn't give a shit. Notice how he doesn't care in this, but he cared when I said it. It's because he doesn't care. He is a performative activist. He doesn't really care about civil rights, all these things. He just uses those things for his own personal gain when he is in situations like this where he has to defend his phony, fabricated character.
Get out the Smirnoff. Dude, wait, this is so funny, bro.
It's pretty rich how, Duper was going on a little press run after my video. He invited the criminal to assist him. And one of the things the criminal was doing was describing crimes that the criminal committed, but saying that I committed them, just slandering my name. So I just thought I'd put in the fact that, Duper stole from Dr. Donut and also was drinking and driving. He was drunk as shit in these videos. He'll deny it, but he had like 7 Smirnoff Ices at that fucking party. I kid you not. So he was driving fucked up. Now, if you guys thought that that was the end of Duper's criminality, You would be very wrong, because I think I have one of the most damning pieces of evidence that I have shown in this two-parter Duper Trooper expose, and that is Duper Trooper animal abuse. Duper Trooper thought it would be a funny meme to kidnap these frogs. I don't know where he got them from. I don't know if he got them from a pet store, out of a creek. Not sure. He grabbed up a bunch of frogs, went with his homie to like a Lowe's or something in the middle of the night, dumped them in the urinal. They also dumped them in the sink. They dumped them in the urinal. Now, Duper claimed that they picked them up. I doubt that. I'm gonna blur this out because I don't think it's TOS to show this, but we have like frogs upside down. Some of them look dead, I almost want to say. They're just like laying upside down next to a urinal cake. And, you know, we're gonna have a bunch of schmucks trying to defend this behavior. Oh, they're just frogs, man. What's the big deal? You know, this is degrading to the animals.
He has provided zero evidence for these lies made against my character.
And it's just like very strange antisocial behavior, in my opinion. It's just so bizarre. Like, what regular human being does this? And Duper has the audacity to say, I'm mentally ill. What mentally sane person goes to a hardware store in the middle of the night and puts frogs in the urinal and then takes a picture of it and sends it to his homies for clout? Like, who does that? Duper Trooper is an animal abuser, doesn't respect any life form other than himself.
He's an asshole. I don't care what Tannen says, and I don't care what anybody else says either.
I already know damn well that this video is over 40 minutes long. This is probably one of the longest videos I've ever made, but that's besides the point. I gotta continue with what I'm talking about. Duper's hypocrisy. So Duper Trooper released a diss track, believe it or not. He released it with this washed up SoundCloud rapper named Predade. So, you know, it's a diss track. It sounds like shit, obviously. It's like ear rape and they're just talking slanderous nonsense. But the one thing that I noticed that I wanted to bring up with this diss track, there's actually two major things, two major hypocrisies that I'd like to bring to light with this. I think you guys will see a theme in this video of Duper not staying true to what he claims to be his morals or his opinions. You know, we'll see him switch up on me, turn to a girl that he knew was lying. We'll see him switch up on his beliefs and what he claims to be for and about and what he claims is acceptable. And we see him doing things that he has criticized others for. In this song with Predade, call E-Turbo a child predator. The reason I'm bringing this up is because it's ironic, because the entire reason the beef with E-Turbo happened, that includes the videos I made, the whole spiraling point of that entire drama and everyone hating E-Turbo was because he insinuated that Duper Trooper was a predator. One could argue this entire situation, everything that has happened in the last 3 years, all the drama, all the back and forth between Duper, E-Turbo, myself, it could all lead back to this point where E-Turbo insinuated, didn't even say it legitimately, he insinuated that Duper was a predator. And Duper took it to Twitter, took a private DM to Twitter, and blew the whole thing up and caused E-Turbo to be harassed for years on end. And here he is doing it when the community turns against him. He plays dirty. He's not a real person. That's what I keep saying. He's fake. His whole persona online and who he claims to be is just not real. And it's very clear because he can't keep track of what this character even is. So he's constantly doing things that are out of character, when in reality, it's just his true character shining through. Now, the second thing that I find ironic about this song is E-Turbo isn't a predator. He has no allegations of talking to minors or anything of that sort. He just had some freaky messages. That's about it. Predade, on the other hand, this washed up SoundCloud rapper that Duper made the song with, he has allegations of talking to underage girls. And I'll show that on the screen right now. Now, of course, this video I've talked about me being falsely accused. It's very easy for men to be falsely accused. This is just a fact of life. and I want to give Predate the opportunity to explain himself. Predate, if you'd like to comment on this, feel free, and I will repost whatever you may say, whatever your explanation. Regardless if these allegations are true or not, you're still an idiot because you're calling someone a predator when people are calling you a predator. You know, you shouldn't throw stones in a glass house. So that was the first major thing I wanted to say. Lastly, I'd just like to show some extra little tidbits where, you know, it's just more examples of why I don't think Duper Trooper should be in any position of authority in this community or in this movement, whatever you want to call it.
What's your favorite drug?
Probably methamphetamines. What's yours?
I'm sober, but that strikes me as a good answer.
No, you cannot be sober if you think shilling gambling to kids is a good idea to make money, bro. I bet you're making $30 a month off that bullshit. It already dropped down to 20 active concurrents after you posted a video on your main channel, bro.
There's so much fire to you.
You're washed, bro. You're washed.
Where does it all come
You're washed and you didn't even use any soap, bro. You smell like ass.
Did you have like a parent who was a gambling addict? And it, like,
nah, but I bet you had a parent who beat you drunk. I would explain the brain damage.
Fuck me.
You're like I need your Joker villain origin story.
Fucking joke. Nah, that's crazy, bro.
You're like the guy in the back of the class who like smells a little strange and is like.
Nah, I ain't sharing that shit with you. You're the guy in the class who has a gun in his backpack, bro. You're gonna make the bullies pay.
Sending a message.
I bet you dress in all black and you weigh 200 pounds.
That's actually very close. I weigh 192.
No fucking shot.
This guy has like a lot of hate in him. It's just mind-boggling, you know, and I'm sorry for ever associating with this guy. I have more things that I could say, believe me. I have more in the tank, believe it or not. I'm going to stop here for now. I think I've said everything that I would like to say. I am curious to see how Duper responds to this. Of course, I immediately know he's probably not going to take accountability. He's probably going to lie some more. He may even have other people argue for him. He may try to do that, may try to have others argue for him. He's definitely going to twist my words against me, that's for sure. Accuse me of everything under the sun: racism, homophobia, transphobia, anti-Semitism, sexism, any of the buzzwords, any of the bad things somebody could be, any of those claims. They're gonna throw that at me, I think, as well. Like, I'm straight up sitting here calling what they're gonna say. I'm calling it right now. This is what these guys are gonna do at this point. Duper's backed into the corner. He's gonna try and play dirty some more. He's gonna definitely play even more dirty. I haven't even gotten to the fact that my Instagram got hacked. And I think it's very plausible that Duper was behind it, but we'll leave that for another time. I'm not going to ever close this little series I've got going on here of exposing Duper. I'm always going to leave it open-ended for another installment. This is my public service. This is me trying to let you guys know. I was friends with this guy. I was allowing him to engage in this behavior. I say no more. This is where the line in the sand is drawn. And if he wants to go lower, I'll go lower. So it's up to him. Either way, thank you for watching. I'd like to thank everybody for their forgiveness as well. You know, people did not have to forgive me too, but I saw a lot of forgiveness from the community, and I am like genuinely grateful. I did not expect that first video to go the way it did. I really thought that this situation was going to be a pretty even, like 50-50 back and forth between me and Duper Trooper. We shared a very sizable audience, but it really wasn't that. It was pretty one-sided, actually. I think most people already were catching a vibe off of him, which I'm thankful for. I'm glad people are as vigilant as they are. So that's all from me. This has been Z-Man1064 signing off.
Get the phone, but record this shit. Oh, it's been recorded. It's better recording. Go. No, cancel the Uber. We go.
Bro, they noticed us.
Bro, Dr. Donut saw me and Mog Swamp saw me, and they fucking went.
How do you cancel Uber?
I don't fucking know. They went inside to get security on our asses.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why?
There was some kid waiting outside. He's like, oh, that's how everyone's getting in.
We're leaving right now.
Yeah. We're out, bro.